Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lilian. I'm gonna take you through Paris in less than 20 minutes or so. Paris is such a beautiful place to visit, and the first thing that I noticed was landing in the airport. It was such a beautiful airport. It was one of those airports that was just different. It was just different. I couldn't tell why, but they had so many shades of red, you can see here. And the bathroom was so clean and spotless and had so beautiful and so much red. And I'm going to talk about it later. Then we got to the room. It was a small room, and the balcony was overlooking into the city. And as you can see, it's a small room, and it had this beautiful wall that has so many quotes. And then you got to order some food. Anyway, you can get any kind of food you want here. So that was so much better, because I was starving when I got there. And we had a little bathroom that was also spotless. And the room, it was a small but very cozy, very nice room, spotless, with everything that you might need. And the balcony, it was not like a balcony, but it was overlooking into the city, as I said before. And you could see people go about their business. And yeah, so it was a nice place. It's like a nice place to view people and just see what's going on outside. And yeah, this is me. And I think this was the first day that I got there. And getting into the city, one thing about the city that I really liked is the trees on either sides of the road, like up. That was one thing about Paris that I got to notice, that there was so many trees along the road. And the city itself is beautiful with so many shades of red. I don't know why, it's just me, or there's so many reds in Paris. And so the other thing that I noticed is that everyone talks in French, and they probably wouldn't understand English. So they would understand a little bit of English, but I realized that when you speak a bit of French, they tend to be nicer, and when you don't, it gets a bit frustrating because everyone speaks in French anyway. I do understand that you're in France and you have to act as the Romans do when you get to Rome. But anyway, this was me the first day that I got there. So one thing that I learned is that if you want to tour around the city, you have to wake up very early in the morning, because everyone wakes up quite late, and you don't want to be somewhere with a lot of people or crowds. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see the city as well as you would have. And then they have these cafes along the city, along the walk paths, along the footpaths, where you can sit and just look at everything, marvel at things, and look at people going about their businesses, or going about their day-to-day life. And I saw so many historic buildings, and the buildings are they're quite old, might I say. They have very old design to architectural design to them. And the other thing that I noticed is that you don't need a taxi to go around the city. So there is one of the major transport systems is the metro. The metro is like a tube. If you're familiar with the tube in London, it's one of those, and it takes you around Paris, and you can go anywhere you want, and then connect with a bus like this. And it's very simple to go around the city. You can go anywhere. You just need to have your Google Map, and you need to buy tickets in the metro system. I think like one ticket will cost you around €2. That's around £2. And it's so easy compared to taking a taxi. I remember when I got there, I couldn't understand anything that anyone was talking about, and I could also not understand my Google Maps. So I ended up boarding a taxi, and that was so expensive. I think I paid like £44 to get to where I was staying. And when I got there, I was a bit frustrated. I was frustrated that I could not understand the people, the language, and I was frustrated that I had to pay that much, and I was wondering whether I'm going to be able to pay that much to just go around the city. But finally, one of the tour guides explained the metro and how to get into the tube, the metro system, and how to get around with the bus, and it made my experience very quite nice, because I'm somebody, if you're like me, I like to explore a lot. I like to walk. So one of the things that I also realize is that in Paris, you have to be ready to walk, because that's the best way to see the city. And then this is the Eiffel Tower. I remember seeing the Eiffel Tower and I just thought it was such a big experience for me, because this is one of the landmarks that I wanted to see in Paris. And it's so easy to get here. I think it took about 13 minutes from where I was staying to here, and it was quite easy. I didn't even have to ask. We didn't even have to ask for directions a lot, because it was so easy to move around. And yeah, so the other thing about the hotels is that you have to book them in advance. Otherwise, you may have to pay. You'll be charged a lot if you book the hotel on the day of your stay. You can book a hotel and then cancel it, make cancellation when you get there and get a new hotel. That's the other way to go about it. And the good thing is that there are websites or booking websites where you can book your stay and your hotel quite easily, so that came in handy. So this is the Eiffel Tower. It's such a magnificent building or tower, and getting there was so many people waiting to see this tower. And the thing that I realized is that you can book for such tours online before you get the day before or before you get there, so that when you get there you have your tickets and you can be able to see, you can be able to get to hop onto and see tour the Eiffel Tower. Anyway, it has 2 levels. I think it had like 2 levels where you can see the city. So there was the first and the second level, and you could get there either by lift like this one, or you can walk through the stairs. It had so many stairs. I think it had like 1,000 stairs leading up to the second floor. And of course, when you get to the top, you have this whole view of the city. And I left the tower, and now we are walking. I think one of those things that I did in Paris was to walk a lot, so you can see the buildings, and you can see the different restaurants, and just walk and enjoy the it was quite cloudy in the morning, but it got a bit better in the afternoon. And one of those things that I've learned is that you have to learn a bit of a bit of French. Say, like, I think one of those things, one of the most important saying or greeting is bonjour. If you do not know bonjour, then you're gonna have to learn it. Anyway, so if you just learn a couple of phrases, so that when you get to talk to people, at least you start with hello, and then you can ask what you want. Otherwise, everyone gets frustrated when you start speaking English. And as you can see, It has so many scenic views like that, and with so many trees. I couldn't get over how many trees there was to see. And yeah, so that was quite a good experience. The weather was cool, but I realized that people in France do not wear. I thought that if I got to France, I would see people wear these trendy clothes with colors and whatnot because it was spring. But I realized everyone just wears very casually, just jackets, black, lot of blacks, lots of jeans, lots of sneakers, nothing like heels. I thought I would have to buy like heels. Anyway, as you can see here, there was so many patisseries, and if you have a sweet tooth or you like cakes and the likes, then you would enjoy it because there are different ranges, and they are very cheap. I think like some of the cakes were ranging between €2 and €4. That is like £2 to £4, so it was quite cheap. And lots of ice creams because it was spring and it was not very cold, so it was easy to it was enjoyable to eat if you have a sweet tooth. So I got to hop onto the bus. So this is a hop on hop off tour, and as you can see, this is the museum that hosts the Mona Lisa. It's called the Louvre Museum. As I said, Paris has a lot of things to see, and you may probably not be able to see everything. As you can see outside, there's so many people waiting to get into the museum. And the trick is to book your tickets in advance so that you just get in with your ticket without having to wait outside. Anyway, so on this bus, you can be able to see a lot of landmarks, and you can also be able to alight and, for example, visit some of the landmarks or some of the areas and museums that you want to see. And yeah, it's such a nice way to see Paris all at one go. And then if you decide to visit later, then you can decide whether you want to which areas specifically you want to visit. So I think from here onwards, you're gonna see some of the buildings or some of the museums in Paris, and just like go through them. And I'm gonna leave a caption so you can be able to see the difference, the different landmarks. And yeah, so as I said before, Paris is really beautiful if you're looking to travel. Those are some of the tips that I got to learn. So manage your bookings early. Learn a few phrases in French. It will help a lot. And don't get frustrated like me when you first learned and hear everyone speaking a different language from you. And then what else? Learn the metro system. It's very easy, and it will help you to get most out of Paris. And then we have just be ready to walk around and see most of the buildings for yourself, and make a plan to visit one or two sites, 1 or 2 or 3 sites, depending on how long you're going to stay there for. It's good to make a plan, and then because it's not easy to see everything, and everyone wants to see most of these landmarks, and it will probably be fully booked up, and you'll probably get frustrated. So to make a plan to see 1 or 2, 3 things, and then you can visit next time when you're more familiar with how everything works, and then you can be able to see what you need to see. So that's it. I'm gonna leave you here, and I'm just gonna play music in the background, and then you can be able to see some of these landmarks. So enjoy. Thanks.
Eiffel's gaze, watching the world go by in a timeless haze. With every sip, a taste of bliss in the city of love, where dreams reminisce. Having a coffee in Paris, where love's in the air. In the streets of Montmartre, without a care. With every laugh and every smile we share. In this moment, nothing can compare. Savoring each moment in this cafe quaint, with the aroma of coffee, our worries fade. In the chatter of voices and languages unknown, we find connection in the city we own. Having a coffee in Paris, where love's in the air. In the streets of Montmartre, without a care. With every laugh and every smile we share. In this moment, nothing can. Having a coffee in Paris, where love's in the air. In the streets of Montmartre, without a care. With every laugh and every smile we share. In this moment, nothing can compare.
So previously, the metal bridge was where people used to put their padlocks, and then it was like a sign of love, and they'll be together forever. So yeah, so that's what I got from that. that's it for this video. I had a particularly beautiful time in Paris. It was nice to see all the landmarks and the river and the parks and the museums. There's so many museums, and I figured out that I will not be able to see everything in a short while, and also depending on the budget. So if you are traveling, then it will be wise for you to plan ahead and see what you want to see, and see what you want to see then, and then plan again for next time. Otherwise, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy the video, and subscribe, like, enjoy, and share, just to support the account, really. And yeah, so see you next time, and have fun in Paris if you're planning to travel.